Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ash, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthroughs, and insider tips to help travel advisors book smarter and build confidence. And tonight's training is called New Agent Phase 2. And this is where we're going to start going beyond the basics and focusing on the next steps that would help you build the momentum and start moving with more confidence in your business. We're going to talk about organization, visibility, mindset, systems, and just the small things that are going to make a really big difference when you're getting started as a travel advisor. If you are live here, go ahead and comment hello in the chat so that I know that you are with me. And if you happen to watch this on a replay, I still want to know that you stopped by. So go ahead and comment replay in the chat as well. It'll be underneath my video. You just hit comment and you will be able to comment there, replay, so that I know that you stopped by as well. And of course, make sure you guys go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys always get notifications, and make sure to tap the bell so you get notifications when I go live. All right, so I'm pretty excited about tonight's training. This is one of my favorite things to train on. I've always been a big new agent orientation person. So when I found out about New Agent Phase 2, I was like, oof, I have to get in on this. So I absolutely love this training. It is going to help you so much. Whether you are brand new, that's normally who comes to my training. So this is probably very important for you. But even if you're an experienced advisor, I'm going to go over a lot of core elements to building your foundation. So it still might be applying to maybe things that you've missed when you were first setting up, etc. So there's still going to be a lot of good information that I'm going to be giving tonight, and a lot of tips and tricks and things. So it's definitely important that no matter how far in you are, to attend a New Agent Phase 2. I do want to say before I get started, I really, really highly recommend that everybody who is watching have already completed definitely your certificate. You have to complete your certificate because that's the most important thing that we do when we first start. And then also, I highly recommend you guys completing, I have a New Agent Phase 1 that I do, and then I have this New Agent Phase 2. But a lot of you guys will automatically attend your mentor's New Agent orientation, or you will attend corporate's orientation. So whatever that is for you, and that will be implemented from your team. So whatever that pathway is for you, please make sure that you have completed it before attending this, because you have to establish vendors, and you have to establish all the other core parts before you do a New Agent Phase 2. New Agent Phase 2 is going to be more about, let's say, taking action before feeling ready. It's going to be building confidence, all of this stuff, learning how to attract clients, setting up the systems, and just creating that core foundation. That's really what New Agent Phase 2 is about. And you guys can't really do that without completing orientation. Okay. So we're obviously going to move forward. If you haven't, feel free to check out orientation, but make sure you don't skip that. Okay. Now, for tonight, I just want you guys to understand something. Being a new agent is a lot, but it's a most beautiful thing to be a lot, because it gives us the ability to fast forward things that normal businesses would take months to complete. We can do it in days. So I don't ever expect you guys to ever know everything. You don't need to know everything. You are learning, and even at 4 years in, I still learn. I still learn all the time. The travel industry is constantly changing. So I want you to understand that you are going to be taking small parts of this tonight and implementing it into your business. I don't expect you to leave here and just be like, all right, let's go, right? I want you to understand the infrastructure that we have behind this, so that you guys aren't just going off and then being like, all right, now I'm going to tell people what I'm doing, and tomorrow I might post a picture. We don't want to start that way. We want to keep that momentum so that you have that ability to start attracting clients. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about tonight. I will go ahead and let you know that in the description, you guys will see the checklist. The checklist is very, very important. I can show it to you guys real quick. I built this checklist myself, okay? It's going to be pretty much everything that I'm covering for tonight, but I want to put it in a form where you guys can go in and be like, I did this, I did this, I did this. So it'll be in the description of this video. And I will also go in my studio and comment it in there for you too. So if you're live, you'll have it there. But if you're not live, check the description and you will find it. But if you need it, comment that you need it later on. If you don't see it still, let me know. I don't want you to not have it, but at the same time, I'm going to leave it everywhere. But tonight, I'm going over business foundations, client inquiry setup, and every time I go over something in this training, it has a checklist to it, and it also has a training attached to it for the most part. So any of my trainings that I've done, these topics, I will have it, Linktree, social media setup, niche, launching your business, client communication, content creation. We'll be talking roughly a little bit about that. 3-post system that I do, and then just a whole bunch of video content, whatever we continue. That's about it, I would say. Not too much after that. But as we're going through this, I want you to understand that this is behind it. So you don't have to do a bunch of notes. I don't expect you to have everything done. This is something you're going to build into. And I just want you guys to have a path. That's the most important thing here, is to have a path to always be like evolving into something new, right? So that's exactly what this is going to be. But make sure you get this. I'll copy it and put it in here real quick. Give me one second. But make sure you have this so that you're not just going off of what I say. And that way you guys have the ability to actually go in and focus on the training and not trying to worry about writing everything down. Like, I'm going to basically cover everything, but in a way that you're going to be able to go like, okay, I remember Ash said to do this, and then I need to do this. And I'm also going to explain the importance of what I'm doing so that you understand the psychology behind it. So I went ahead and put that in the chat for you. So if you're live, you should also have it. Like I said, it's also recorded. So if you're watching the recorded version of it, all you have to do is check the description or in the comment section. So let's go ahead and get started. We have a lot to cover tonight, but man, do I love this training. Let's go. So the first part that we're going to talk about tonight is building your business foundation. In order to be seen as a business, there are certain things that you need to have in place for people to be able to notice you. The first thing that you have to do is a business name. We are independent contractors of Archer and Evolution, but we cannot lead as that. We have to create our own kind of, I say brand. Brand is like logos, place that people can contact you, like the whole shebang. We got to do everything here. So we need to go in and do that now, and we need to figure that out now. It's not something that you want to put off, because you cannot do anything further, like setting up social media, having somebody come to you and want to do an inquiry. You can't do any of that without doing this first, okay? So the first thing that you need to do is come up with a business name. Now, I will give you some advice for somebody who's been here for 4 years. You do not want to copy a name that is already taken. You want to do some good deep research, search it on Google. I also recommend going in there and maybe even making sure that like everything's available, like on social media. Like, you don't want to take it if somebody already has a website with it. You don't want to take it. Like, there's just several parts that you want to put in there. And I know that's going to be a little hard because there's just different things that I've already taken, but feel free to use like ChatGPT or Claude, whatever, Gemini, whatever you choose, to make sure that you have that individuality that you want for your brand. You don't want to be confused with somebody else, because if they have been building into it, like me, for example, I've been here for 4 years, right? I've been building into my SEO, my brand, my content for the last 4 years. If somebody comes along and tries to use that, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, even to the point where I've bought in the domain at this point. Now, you don't have to do that, okay? But like, I'm trying to explain to you how far deep that is, that when you do that, you build SEO, which is search engine optimization. And that means they put me at the top of Google. If somebody comes along and tries to take that, it's not going to work. So you want to be very unique. Now, also, you want to be searchable. You want to be able to not have something so detailed that people can kind of look up and like find you. And along with that, I really also recommend making it personal, because we're not really just like doing a business. That's not really, I mean, it is, but it's not really what we're going for. We want to be known as like the travel advisor to go to, right? And the best way for us to do that is to start with a business name that kind of knocks it out of the park. So Keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to tell you, first of all, it took me 5 days to come up with my name. And since I've came up with that name, I done changed it. I changed it like 2 or 3 years later. And that's because I niched down all the way and I just wanted like a specific part of it. So it's okay to just pick what you need, okay? But just really think about what you're going to do with it in the future and how far you want to take it to make sure it's completely available, okay? Start simple, start like being recognizable, and just start now. Don't let this delay you because it really can hinder you from doing anything else, okay? The next thing that you need to do is a simple logo, okay? I really recommend ChatGPT. You can go inside Canva. They do have Canva for free. I will give you a list of tools down. It's on the checklist too. But get a logo. ChatGPT makes the most beautiful logos. You put the description in there and it will make it for you. So I would easily just stick with that. All right. Next thing we're going to talk about too, I'm going to go into details about this, but we need to find a place for clients to contact you. And the reason that is because you can't get a booking if they don't have a way to contact you, right? So we need to kind of establish that. And we're going to go into the steps of establishing that in the next few pages. All right. Now, before you start to do all of that, there's some things that I want you to consider before you move into the business name, simple logo, all of that. The first part of this is going to be choosing your niche and your audience, because this is going to heavily affect what platforms you set up. It's going to affect your name that you're going to choose, right? It's also going to affect how you kind of come up with your logo. It's going to affect everything in between it. So you need to really just sit down and think about your niche, which is going to be what you like primarily focus on when it comes to marketing. And then you're also going to want to consider your audience, okay? When you understand both your niche and your audience, your content, your marketing, your ideas, they become really easy to create because you only have one focus. Now, the common confusion with this, when I always say this, is that agents think that's all they sell. That's not true at all. I typically do adults only travel. That is what I really market. But I'm going to be honest with you. I just booked somebody's trip to San Antonio. And then I booked someone's trip to Punta Cana. And it wasn't adults only. It was just a trip there with the family. I book cruises. I book all things. But it's easier to just focus on one main thing. Like, I'm going to give you an example. When a salesman for a car, okay, they typically stick with one type of brand of cars, right? And they heavily market those cars. But do they still have used cars that you can buy? Absolutely. But they're focused on those main cars. And the types of cars that they sell also determines their audience. So if they're doing like, I don't know, big SUVs, then they're going to probably want to talk to families, right? They're doing those sports cars, they're going to want to talk to like individuals that without kids or singles or older, like whatever, that fits that era. Okay? The reason I'm saying all of that is that I want you to understand why we do it, because I missed this when I first started. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's possible for it to change. There will be ways that you determine something that like just works better. Okay. I'll give you a prime example, not to ramble on, but when I first started, I did Las Vegas because I thought it was fun, exciting, and something different. But months in, I've determined that Las Vegas is pretty cheap and their commission is lower because it's pretty cheap. So I was like, I need something to make more money. So then I added in weddings because why not? And I made pretty good money on that with destination weddings. And then I was like, okay, I like cruises. So then I added in cruises. And then I realized that underneath all of that is what? Adults only travel. That was all I was marketing to. Las Vegas, the cruises, the weddings, like all of the stuff I was marketing to was actually adults only travel. So what I needed to do was just choose that as the niche. That way I know who I'm talking to each time. So to give you a rough idea, here's some popular niches: adults only travel, cruises, Disney, destination weddings, family vacation, group trips. But what I want you to consider is what you can start with that makes you feel comfortable. You are going to be the go-to for all things travel, yes, but it's really hard to push all things travel. It's just all over the board. We need to just slow it down a little bit, close it a little bit, have that focus by also noting I'm your go-to travel advisor, okay? Now, with this, the most important part with that is going to be your audience plays the biggest role. If you're talking to couples, you're not going to talk to couples the same way you talk to families. You're not going to market the same content, right? Moms, luxury travelers, honeymooners, all different types of ages, whatever you can see fitting for what you want to sell, that's who you want to talk to. These two things can help you so much, and it's okay to change them. But when you focus it over consistently on the same people at the same topics, that's what gets you the ability to be seen. Now, get started with that, right? Decide on that. But let's talk about the core foundation of setting up the business foundation. So, the first part of this is that in order to kind of continue on, let's just say you created your name, you got your brand set up, you went to ChatGPT, you set up your logo. Now you need to have a way for them to contact you. So that's the part that we're going to start on. You have to have some kind of separate email. I would really, really recommend you don't have to have the exact same email that's in your back office, because I signed up with my like personal email in the back office, which is fine because it gets all of the like Archer stuff to it. But it's very easy to miss an inquiry when you get all of that stuff coming in. So I have a separate email that just goes for my like business, and it doesn't have to be fancy or anything like that. A Gmail account is fine, or whatever platform you choose. These are just examples, but I want you to understand that you want to have some kind of separate form to it, because it gives you the ability to kind of put all of your attention in one area without worrying about all of the stuff filling underneath it. Okay. Now, with this, I'm going to tell you two things. You don't have to change your back office. You can leave it that way if you choose to. If you choose to change it in the back office, you have to message the blue chat box in the bottom right corner in order to change the email. They will verify you and change it. You don't have to do that, though. If you do that, all of the stuff is going to go to you, like Evo, Archer, all of that. But what I would suggest, at least, if you go into your website, which is what we normally do in orientation, or when you get your certification, it will automatically show you how to activate it. But if you edit your profile inside your website, you can put the email there. Okay. If you put the email there, it will only do the inquiry forms and your commission updates to that email. It won't send all of the other stuff. It'll just do the inquiry form, and the commission updates will go from that email. So there's two ways that you could do it. I just want you to understand both, because a lot of us like to separate things. A lot of us like to join them. So however you want to do it, those are the ways you can do it. But please try to set up some kind of email so that you're not all put together and losing your inquiries, because you'll be really sad when you do. Now, we have one way for them to contact you, but now you also need to set up a Jot form or a Google form, whatever your choice is, but you need to set up a way for them to fill out the inquiry. Now, technically, we have an inquiry form inside the website, and you can use that if you choose to, but some of us like to create our own, which I am one of those people. So we use JotForm. It's free. Everything in here I'm showing you tonight is free. But JotForm is free. And you just need to have like one main inquiry form that you are going to put everywhere. The form should include the names, the destination interest, the dates, budget, number of travelers, phone, email. Now, here's the cool thing. I have a training on this. I have a training for you. So inside that doc that I sent you, it has all of like the breakdowns, right? Above it has the training. So you should see JotForm trainings. I will show you my JotForm just so you can get a rough idea of what we can do with JotForm. Here is mine. Mine goes question by question, general inquiry form, but I'm going to skip around. It has email, like it has return date, departure date. Are you flexible in your dates? How many travelers, accommodation preferences. I show you how to do all of this, and I break it down, and I give you, I believe in the side of the training, I give you like a reference sheet too. So I give you everything. But I want you to understand what this does. So this gives me the ability to put it everywhere. It's in my bio. It's on any of my social media pages, anything that I'm posting. Like I have it everywhere. And the easier that they see it, the better you have of a chance of them actually inquiring. If they have to look for it, they're not going to inquire. So this way, we have the ability to kind of come in here and get them all set up. We get the questions that we actually need, which I will show you in the training. And that way you could just get it in there easy. So highly recommend doing either a Jot form or a Google Doc, whatever that is. The easier your process feels for them to be able to do this, booking or inquiry or request, whatever it is for them, the easier for them to find it, the more inquiries you will receive. If you make it hard to find, they're not going to do it. All right. Now, after the job form, I don't expect you to do all of this tonight. I just want you to know what you need. All right. So you get the job form. Let's just start. You have your email so they can email you. Now you have your job form so they can contact you to do a trip. And then you need your link tree. And I'm going to tell you why you want a link tree. The link tree is basically like exactly what it says. Your mini travel storefront. That is exactly what it does. It puts all the links together for you. So you only have to share one link and they have a full way of contacting you. Inquiry form, Facebook business page, Instagram, TikTok, reviews, testimonials, affiliate links, even travel websites, all of it. All anywhere people find you online, they should easily find your booking link. And the best way to do so is inside that link tree so they can have it all listed. Now, I have my own link tree that I will show you. Linktree does have a free version. So this will look like the same, but it will have a color background for the free one. But in here, you can do all of your social media platforms, your links. You can have even a shop if you want to go and do like the upgraded version of it. But it has like, I have my current deals, I have my inquiry forms, I have my group cruises. I mean, you could do everything in here. And I've been here for 4 years. So I've been building affiliate links for about 4 years. And I've seen roughly about 70 of them. So no matter what kind of niche you have, you can find an affiliate link for it. But in here, I have guides. I have where they can book directly, and you'll bid onto it. Okay. It's obviously not going to look this put together, but I just want to show you how far you can take it. It does a lot. It has everything in there. I have mine broken down. And guess what? I also have a training on how I do this. I actually have 2 versions of it. I have one training to show you how to set up your link tree. And then I also have another training in there for you to be able to go in and learn how to add the affiliate links. And it's actually, I want to show it to you. I skipped it right here. Link tree setup. So it'll look like that. So there's how to set it up. Here's how to, I spelled that wrong. Yeah. Here's how to do the actual affiliate links. And then I have the steps on how you can actually do it. And then that's the same. Even the inquiry form, there's that. And then I have to make sure you don't forget anything. I have that in there. So make sure you guys get that description and go in there and get this form. All right. But back to what we were doing. So you want to do your link tree. And the reason I really like Linktree is it's because I love adding in the links and just making it more like, it's like a website in itself. Honestly, it could serve the purpose of having a website. It's free, so why not? And it makes it easier where you could just drop it in places and people can go in and do whatever they want. They can hang out on there. They can, read your different stuff that you end up putting on there eventually or going to different sites. There's a lot that they can do. So highly recommend setting up a link tree to make it easier for sharing your stuff. Now, the next part, okay, so we've done our email. Now they can contact us. And then at that point, we have our link tree set up. So now we have all of our stuff in there, right? So they have a full order of setup. We have like a foundation, but now we need to put it somewhere. So we need to find platforms to put it on, right? So you guys, I honestly recommend doing either 2 to 3 platforms to build on, but I only suggest trying to master one platform at a time. It can be very overwhelming posting on social media. So I do a lot of cross posting. If I post on Facebook, I'll just post the same thing on Instagram. Very common to do that, right? But I try to really just focus on just Facebook or just Instagram, and I'll interact with it. I'll comment more, I'll post more. And that way I can build up the momentum for each platform without the burnout, okay? I say at least 2 to 3 platforms because I don't want you to have limited visibility. And that would happen if you only exist in one place. So feel free to pick what platforms that you choose. Now, I'm going to go into a little quick deep dive on this because I want you to understand when it comes to platforms, you don't have to decide on what platforms on your own. I would really recommend finding your niche, finding your audience, and then putting that into ChatGPT and saying, what do you think are the best platforms to market this? And then let it help you, because that really helped me when I first started doing like just adults only travel. I was like, how can I grow this quickly? And they suggested TikTok. And TikTok went viral for me. And it's because I talk to it and it helps us. So try to not put so much pressure on you and let it help you figure out what platforms you are, because you're not going to know all of that at first. So let it rely on it to kind of help you understand how social media works until you get comfortable with it. Okay. So once you pick your platforms, then we have to continue to understand how we want to post on there before we start posting. Now, the reason I put this slide in here is because a lot of us, when we first start, we just are going to go in online and say, hey guys, great news. I finished my certificate and now I sell travel. That's okay to do so, but I'm going to give you a little tip on this that is going to help kind of I want to say make you sound more confident, not more confident, but like you understand what you're meant to do. So when I'm posting on social media or when I'm talking to clients or anything that I want to just basically talk about in general, okay, people should instantly understand what you book, who you help, and why they should come to you. No matter where I'm posting, no matter how I'm talking, no matter what I'm doing, I immediately establish these types of things because it helps me kind of filter what I need to do. And it sounds way better. I have a whole training on this where I talk about it, but it makes it way easier for people to feel more confident with you when you are able to easily say what you do. It sounds way better to say, I help couples find adults only resorts, instead of saying, oh, I'm a travel agent and I book travel. Okay. I used to say that. I used to say, oh, I sell travel. That doesn't sound like somebody who's open for clients, does it? That sounds like somebody who works and takes phone calls and books travel. We need to let them know that we are an advisor. The best way to let them know that we are an advisor is telling them what we book, our audience is, and then why they should come to you. Okay. Now, I understand that a lot of times people feel like that puts them in a bubble, so they don't like to do that. But you can also let them know, well, I book all types of travel, but this is what I primarily specialize in. And that will kind of eliminate that issue. Okay. But another example, I help families plan stress-free Disney trips. That's great. That's straight to the point. It even serves like a stress-free. We like that. And then it gives a very simple message, but you understand exactly what we're doing. Okay. Now, I want you to take this once you get there, once you establish your niche, and I want you to implement it across all different parts. So, when you're ready, after you've established everything that I've talked about, okay, after you got all of this up here, when you feel ready, I want you to start telling people. Now, I know you're thinking, okay, well, I don't have experience in this. I don't have experience in that. I'm going to tell you right now, you are going to have time to get experience. And one of the best ways for you to get experience is to get a client. Yeah. And we have our mentors and our upline there to help us with all of our bookings, right? When we first kind of start out, we can ask them questions. We can hop on live trainings. We can get help, right? But the more you delay this, the more you delay your chance of getting a booking. I'm just being honest with you. But when you're ready, announce your business, announce what you're doing. And that's the reason I cover this, what you should be known for, because you're telling people what you're doing. I want you to exactly tell them what you're doing. I don't want you to go there and be like, all right, I'm a travel agent and I book travel. I want you to go, no, I'm adults only specialist and I do all inclusive resorts. Okay, that's an example. But I want you to be very precise on it, because this is going to kind of help correlate how you set the tone for your business. Announce who you are, invite people to follow your pages. You've now set up platforms, so you could put that in a post and say, hey, here's my new page. Make sure you follow it. Share your website that you have, your travel website, share your link tree. And then you're going to want to start posting consistently once you announce, because you have to keep up the momentum. You can't just post in there that you are who you are and then leave, because people are going to forget. But with this, you have the ability to go in there and start talking about it on a regular basis, so it becomes natural to you. So then when you go to someone and you're like, I'm an adults only specialist, they go, oh yeah, because that's what she always talks about. So that is probably one of the best ways to be able to kind of keep that momentum. And it also helps set up the ability to show you guys what you're talking about. You feel natural about it every time. Okay. Now, with starting to post consistently, you're going to go in there, you're going to start telling people naturally, right? Okay, this is what I'm doing now. And it really kind of helps establish, like sometimes our family and friends are like our first bookers or our first like our attempts to kind of get quotes, etc. So it's okay if they come to you, but make sure that you're qualifying them before you do all of it. Your first clients usually come from people already watching you. So that could be social media that you're already on, or your family, your friends, etc. So make sure that when you are ready to announce that you have the momentum ready to keep going after you announce, so it will help you stay at the top, stay consistent, and stay known. All right. Now we're at the part where we already, let's just do a little backup. We built the foundation, we picked a name, we picked a logo, we picked who we're going to talk to, and we're also what we're going to talk about. We set up our email so they can email us. We set up our Jot form to do inquiries. We set up the link tree to put everything all together. And then we established all of our platforms that we want to sell in inside the link tree. Yeah. So we have it all in one place. Now, when I take this and I have it all put together, it makes it easier for us to do the announcing of the business. Then we did all of the core parts. We have our vendors, we have everything else. And now we can move on to this part where we're moving to the posting, etc. Now, once you announce your business, there is a good chance that people are going to start messaging you, etc. And when people do that, we have a tendency to just kind of want to go in there and do the booking and get it, etc. And I totally understand that. And I'm very happy for you when you get your inquiries. But I want to go ahead and set the boundaries for you to understand so you don't put yourself in a situation where you have a ton of quotes or a ton of questions and you're just overwhelmed. I want to set a good pathway, like with develop good habits to prevent stuff. So when you guys first post and start talking to other people about what you do, you want to automatically move the booking questions to the inbox. You do not want to leave them in how do I say this? You don't want to leave them in the comments. You don't want to do like an inquiry, like in the comment publicly. You don't want to just leave it out in the open. You want to immediately move them to your DMs or move them to your text messages, to your email, etc. You don't want to go in there and basically leave them open for other people to not just like communicate per se, right? You want to make it to where you have the ability to really qualify them, talk to them, etc., right? So that's the first thing that we want to do. Now, along with that, we want to set response expectations. Since you're new, I would really recommend giving yourself 48 to 72 hours for quotes. And that time, you have the ability to ask for help when needed because you're not going to know everything at first, but that's okay. We have people here to help you. But this way, you're already establishing healthy boundaries to protect your time and your energy, and you're not overwhelmed because it's very easy when you start getting the quotes, you're setting up everything to get overwhelmed. So make sure you set up this early on. I do this. I don't immediately start, like when I get an inquiry, I qualify them. Even if they filled out the inquiry form, I qualify them more and make sure I know exactly what I'm looking for before I start so I don't spend a lot of time. I have a training called Lookers versus Bookers. And if you have a problem or an issue where you're quoting and it's not closing, etc., I highly recommend checking out my Lookers versus Bookers. You could find it on my YouTube channel. That way you don't have to run into that part where you're constantly just trying to book people that are only looking. So setting up clear communications. Now we're on to the part where we've posted, we started talking about it. Now we need to start actually posting about it, right? So good beginner content. Feel free to screenshot this if you want, but I also have it in the cheat sheet. But you really want to just sit down and kind of develop content that's going to work for you, that's comfortable for you. And it doesn't have to be like very dramatic or perfect or anything. Destination photos, reels, vendor deals that we get in our emails, mock bookings, packing tips, cruise walkthroughs if you have them, or resort comparisons. It's all just very simple content that still books trips. Now, I will tell you when it comes to this, I went into very descriptive information. Oops, hold on one second. I want to show it to you. Here, I have several different trainings, so I don't suggest taking them all, okay? But if you feel like you're stuck on doing any of this, I have a lot of it broken down. So I have travel mock bookings and quotes that you can make in 15 minutes. I show you guys how to make them. How to use and find online travel supplier content. That's a good one. Travel content that goes viral without paid ads. Faceless content with AI in case you don't want to use your face. Okay, I'll teach you how to not use your face. And then lastly, my top travel content creation secrets. So these are just little trainings that I've put together for you guys so that you have the ability to kind of break it down even more than me just going, all right, here's the content. Okay. Now, with that, here's some steps that you can take so you're not alone on what you should post. Create your first mock booking, post a destination photo, post a travel tip, and of course, base all of this off of your niche and your audience. Now, when it comes to posting content that actually works, I'm going to be very, very honest with you. When it comes to video content, honestly, ignore the double start with. Honestly, short form videos is one of the fastest way to grow visibility right now. Okay. It doesn't have to be like just you talking on your phone. We're way advanced now. We could do screen recordings, photos, slideshows that turn into a video, resort walkthroughs, voiceovers, talking videos, etc. I know that that's a little like probably out of y'all's comfort range at first, but I highly recommend getting into the habit of doing it. And I also teach you here how to edit the because the suppliers give us videos, which you will find in here. Okay. They give us videos and then you can edit them. So I teach you how to edit them in CapCut for free. And then I also teach you guys how to use CapCut for your reels and your promos. So I'm not leaving you hanging, okay? But I have like a way for you guys to kind of build into it naturally instead of feeling like overwhelmed, all right? But what I suggested is because on platforms like TikTok, you can only do videos. So if you choose that platform, get comfortable with it. When it comes to Instagram, they don't see the photos. Photos go to followers. Videos go to your For You page, which goes to new people. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook, typically those posts go to people that are already following you. So if you find yourself stuck and growing, try a video because videos go into the Reels section where they can go and watch them. You have to keep in mind like different content to hit different people. So keep it just open. Don't put yourself in a box. Now, with this, there's a structure behind it, okay? I'm not going to tell you to just wake up and just post something random, okay? I highly, highly recommend checking out the 3-post system. Now, I have training for that inside there, but I base all of my posts off of one of these. That way, I don't have to question why I'm posting it or what its purpose is. Every post needs a purpose. So the first one I have is inspiration, which are dream trips and bucket list destinations. This is to inspire them to travel. Then after that, I will post some about travel tips, facts, cruise tips, passports, budgeting, whatever my niche is. I'm educating them to show them the value of having me as an advisor. And then my third type of post is normally an invitation to book with me. So it'll be like a mock booking, a sales post, or just something that will have them to close, like DM me, comment travel, or message me for a quote. That's what that does. But what does this do? This gives them like a funnel. So they're inspired, they're acknowledged, and then they want to book. It's like a kind of like a repeat, okay? Now, I'm not telling you to go and post 3 times a day. Once you're advanced, feel free to post as many times as you want. But I like to focus my 3 posts on one of these so they each have a purpose. Posting a photo about travel isn't going to get you a booking, but posting inspiration to book your specialty, your niche, like your cruise that you do, like maybe you just do cruises. Inspiring them to cruise and book with you is way different than just posting a photo, right? Education, when I'm educating them on my niche, I am showing them that I'm trustworthy. So that has a purpose. And then inviting them to book with me, obviously, to close it, right? Consistency, visibility, and opportunities. I like to do this. Like on my platforms, you will see one post about this, and then this is the next one, and then this is this one. And then I start it over. That's how I do it because what happens is one person will just see this. Okay, if they just see this, I need to show them something else and they'll go to my page. So then they open this and then they see this. That's the reason I do it. So it's always different, but it's the same content. Okay, now I have a training on that. It's literally on the cheat sheet. It says 3-post system if you want more details. I just want you to have some kind of structure before you start posting so you understand why you're posting, and it will help lessen that burnout because you understand the need behind it, the purpose. But with that, I want to go in and just clear this up Consistency over perfection. If I were to go back 4 years and look at the post I first made compared to the post I make now, yeah, I've grown. I've definitely grown and I've definitely changed. And luckily for you, I'm here to teach you how I post. So you're going to be way advanced, but I don't want you to be hard on yourself because you have the ability to talk yourself out of posting. If you try so hard to be perfect, you will literally talk yourself out of it. So you don't need to be perfect. You don't have to constantly post. You don't have to do any of that. You just have to be consistent. Okay. You have to show up to remind people, hey, I'm still here. Stay visible. Okay. The agents who stay visible usually stay booked. It's the truest thing ever. So here's a good idea, just a rough idea. 3 posts a week, 1 reel a day if you feel the need to make videos all the time. And then honestly, stories is one of the easiest places to post. And on Facebook and Instagram, we can put our links in there. So whatever your idea of how you want to take this, okay, make sure you are consistent with it because it can build the momentum to help lead to bookings. All right. Next one. Tools that help beginners. Feel free to screenshot all of this. Everything that I've covered tonight involves one of these tools. Canva, I do a lot of designing in. Meta Business Suite is everything Facebook and Instagram business. You can schedule post for Facebook and Instagram in here. I have a training for that. CapCut is all videos. Linktree to help stay connected. ChatGPT, which is put here twice for some reason. Yay, ChatGPT actually made this slide, so blame them. ChatGPT, great for getting all of your tools, things done quickly. And then lastly, I suggest like a Gmail and then just get your Google Drive all set up inside there because you're going to be saving a lot of stuff. And Google Drive connects to your Gmail and it connects everything from Google Sheets, Google Docs, and we use a lot here. So just get a Gmail. But I don't expect you to overload yourself with tools. Please don't do that. But I want you to understand that they all have different purposes, and that's why I have so many of them. I don't use them all the time, obviously, but they each have a good function, and it's important that you understand the history. I have all of the links and all of the different descriptions inside of the cheat sheet for you. And then lastly, a couple of things that I want to cover is income beyond bookings. And the reason I put this in here is because I want you to understand why you're doing everything. So at first, you're starting all of this foundation, but it has the potential to grow even further than what you can see right now. As when I first started, I was like, oh, I have to do a Linktree. Oh, I have to do a Jotform. Yeah, okay. That Linktree and that Jotform is what helped me learn about affiliate links. And affiliate links is one of the most popular ways to get bookings because we use affiliate links for travel insurance. We use them for excursions. We use them for activities. We have direct booking affiliate links that you guys can just let them book on their own, right? There's so many just income potentials. And I never would have figured that out if I didn't have a Linktree. So it has a foundation and that you can add on to. Along with that, it has travel guides. You guys can have the ability to build your own travel guides. I show you guys where to get them from in that supplier content. I show you guys how to do that. But you can use travel guides, and that way you have the ability to kind of explain what you do, how you do it, the knowledge behind it, and then inside those guides, you can also close them on a booking. That goes even further. Then I start educating them, and I can even add to it by doing group trips. I can add to it by doing reviews, and then I can even go as far as starting getting my content monetized. Now, obviously, you want to grow into this, okay? But I've been here for 4 years now, and I have income from multiple streams of income. I have income from booking, I have income from my mentoring, and then now I'm actually monetized on 4 different platforms. So I have a lot of different income coming in from different places. And that's all just because I have just kind of grown in time. Like I have added on this, then I added on that. And the reason I'm explaining that to you is because I couldn't do any of that without that foundation that I just showed you. It wouldn't have existed. And not only that, I also have the ability to just not rely on one type of income. And that's what travel industry does. It gives you the ability to grow income in layers. That way, you're not just relying on one source. You have the ability to do all of them, but you can't do any of that without a structure that just what I showed you right there. Without that structure, none of that would be able to be created. A couple more things that I want to kind of show you, and then we're done. So most importantly, that we're all learning and we're growing right now, but I want you guys to make sure that you're learning without burnout. I don't want you guys to try and learn everything because I'm still learning things all the time. I want you to learn what matches your niche. If it's something that's going to help you sell, learn it. Then, when you're learning, I want you to stop and actually apply what you're learning. Because if you keep learning, you're going to drive yourself crazy. There's a lot of things to learn. There's still trainings for me to attend 4 years later, and it will be there for you too. It will always be there. So, but while you're learning, make sure you apply, or all that learning is for nothing. All right. Along with that, practice with mock bookings. Go in there and learn your vendors. If you're working on different types of just quotes, etc., play around with the different vendors so you get more comfortable with them. That's the best way to gain experience. You can't gain experience in trainings. You can learn about it, sure, but you get the best practice when you guys are going in there and building like fake trips. That's what a mock booking is, okay? It's like you're going to book without actually booking. That's what we're doing. And then lastly, focus on action over endless training. Please, please, please make sure you guys are doing some type of small action. I honestly, what I like to do is I make a list. I teach this in my new agent phase 1, but I have a digital command center, and in there it has a list. And that list gives me the ability to put what's most important. And then I try to complete at least 3 things on that list every day. And that's exactly what I'm going to give you now, right? That's the list. You guys have a list now too. You can go in there and start just completing things, but don't try to do everything at once because you will burn yourself out. All right. Now, lastly, final reminder, when I'm trying to make sure that you guys understand here before you leave, you do not need to be perfect. You don't need to know every vendor. You don't have to have thousands of followers or have fancy branding. What you do need to is make sure you're staying visible, keep learning, practice consistently, and then build your confidence through the small actions that you're taking. That type of momentum is what creates success. You're not going to build this overnight, but I promise you, one day you'll be here just like me, looking back and going, wow, that's what I did in 4 years. That's awesome, right? So just keep going. Put one step in front of the other, and you will be on your pathway to being a great travel agent. Yes? So if you like this training, make sure you go ahead and click a like on that video. Comment below. Let me know how I helped you. And if you need the form, still let me know. I get that to you as well. But that is all I have for you tonight. I know it's kind of a long one, yeah, but there's just so much potential that you have to learn from New Agent Phase 2, and just so many different things now that you have the ability to go and implement for your business. So I've given you a lot to do, yes. So go ahead and make sure you comment, like this video. And of course, I will actually be back live on Thursday for all of those who are joining me. I'm actually going to do CLIA and IATAN training. It's going to go over the perks. I'm talking about all the perks since we just started the new year for CLIA and IATAN. So feel free to hop on live at Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, where I will be covering that. All right. So for now, I'm going to head over to my studio and answer any of your questions, which you will be able to ask inside the chat box. Feel free to drop them in there and I will answer them inside the chat box for you. And if not, I will see you on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific to learn about CLIA and